Good morning. Try and stay awake.
Talk to Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy.
Welcome to Real Estate Live with the Real Estate Guys, Aaron and Jacob Taylor.
We're keeping it real, we're keeping it current, and we're keeping it fun.
Las Vegas' #1 real estate show.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
Call 310-MOVE.
Talk to Aaron Taylor.
310-MOVE. The real estate guy.
What's going on, Las Vegas? Your host today, Jacob Taylor, the real estate guy. With your co-host, Sheila Merrill, the lending lady.
Woohoo!
And of course, we got our videographer with us. Today we got Keone. Keone. I'll try to have some fun and replace my dad here. So, Pops is out of town. I heard he was attending something in Palm Springs. I don't even know what, but have fun out there. Enjoy yourself. I got it today. No problem. We've got some good stuff for you guys. Lots of content. We got some good stats to discuss. But of course, before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and thank our wonderful sponsors. So Sheila, let's start off with you. Thanks. We appreciate you. The lending lady, Neo Home Loans.
Yeah.
Always taking care of our clients. And actually, we had someone comment the other day on one of the podcast clips that how can a refinance be no cost? How is there no cost involved in a refinance, right? Because you offer this fantastic deal. Before I jump into the next sponsor, tell us, how do you give your clients a no-cost refi down the road?
All right. So the way that works, famous Vegas allergies going on here. Apologies. Okay. The way it works is all of my clients that we do a purchase for, when it comes time, when it makes sense to refinance, we will do a no lender fee, no appraisal refinance for them. You're going to have your title, your escrow, your taxes, your insurance, the regular stuff you have, but you have no lender fees or appraisal. That's pretty slick. And we do that as an appreciation for serving you with financing your loan. And that could be repetitive as well for the same house.
And just to even further elaborate, right? So one, that's why I never use the word free, right? Like, I don't like to use that word with it, even though I believe it's allowed, because we're not charging anything extra. But it's misleading, right? No cost. There's no additional cost, right? Like if you were to sell your home and let's say, I said I do it for free, right? There's still cost you have to pay no matter what, right? And that's kind of what we're getting at, right? There's a few costs you're paying no matter what when you're getting a refi that you're going to have to take care of, right? But other than that, the lender you work with, usually gets paid, right? If you call up a lender and say, I want a refi, well, there's going to be some, points in there potentially, right?
Right.
Or what is that what you'd call it on the lender side, right? A point?
Well,
they might charge
points.
a point.
Points are more related to buying down the rate.
Right, but even when they describe pay and whatnot, they won't talk like that. See, this isn't my field. I'm not a lender, right? I'm not going to get into it.
That's okay.
I'm already stepping on my toes, all right?
Yeah.
We're going to move on now.
Okay.
Next wonderful sponsor here. We're going to save that one. We're going to go to Fidelity National Title. We had some great conversations with our Fidelity partners over the last few weeks, and we're very excited, My dad's a very big component of loyalty, and during the swings of seasons, there's always opportunities, especially when it comes time to title. And we just want Fidelity to know we love you. We ain't going anywhere. You're the best. Thank you. We appreciate you for always taking care of us, taking care of our clients. And yeah, if you really are going through a transaction, I can not recommend Fidelity National Title enough. Always very professional, looking out absolutely entirely for your clients. And yeah, just working with your agents very well and the people involved in the transaction to make sure it closed smoothly. Then we got our favorite restaurant in downtown Summerlin, one of a kind, John McGibbon, Grape Street Cafe. Our cheers.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Bum, 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 bum.
And they're always
All right, I liked it actually. It's warming up on me, Ramon. I'm feeling good. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Last one here, we have Robert Loftus with Loftus Law Firm here. Robert is going to handle all of your probate needs, anything to do with family estate planning, right? So being in real estate, right? I see it all the time. I know Sheila does as well. I'm working with someone that we're closing in a week. Property was passed down via trust, and the trustee is now organizing the estate, getting maybe an estate sale set up, having a realtor meter out the property, having, things in order. And within, 1 week of, mom or dad passing, things are moving, right? And specifically, right, when there's a trust, things can move very quickly. So if you need estate planning, call Robert or call the real estate guy, 702-310-6683, and we'll connect you. Get yourself set up with a trust if you have any kids or anybody you care about in this life. Leave them everything you have securely, clearly, and avoid all those extra taxes and probate.
Right.
All right. Some good sponsors, right? Some good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Got a few minutes before we take our break. I was watching some videos last night because I wanted to talk about some stuff. And, with our new LVAR president-elect here, he is starting to put out some great content with other brokers to, really keep the pulse on the market available for all the agents out there that want to pay attention, right? George, you're doing a fantastic job. We did it, I believe the first week was with John Gafford and last week with Bob Hamrick, and they talked about the market, right? And it's great to hear other perspectives, especially from other, active brokers out there, right? That are in the trenches every day. They're still taking listings, helping buyers, managing transactions, right? And it's very awesome to kind of get reinforced on what your beliefs are too, to an extent, right? Because we study the market all the time, and it's great, hearing, what you kind of believe is going on is kind of what other agents are seeing too, right? Mm-hmm. And they were really talking about the luxury market a little bit, the difference in median price, from year to year, month to month. And they went over February stats kind of as a whole. And I think there's a few things that I wanted to mention here before we take a break that are important to highlight. One is, when we talk about condos, townhomes, right? Everyone has to remember we have high rises as well that are included. That may slightly disproportionate the scale, right? And they were talking about, specifically what is actually selling that month, right? So 1 month you may have, a bunch of 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom condos sell, around the valley. Whereas the next month, it may be a bunch of 1-bedroom high rises, right? So the median price might jump up $10,000 1 month out of nowhere. And I think that, looking at that a little bit more, right? The median price of the actual condo townhomes doesn't tell you much at all. It really doesn't. But it's just an interesting thought, right? You gotta pay attention to the sales itself and exactly what product is selling, right? It's really important when you start bundling products together that are so different, because you have these 1-bedroom condos being compared to, sales of high rises going for luxury high rises, right? Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thought. It's like, okay, that definitely adds to it, right? Just in general, the increase in our sales, right? Going from just over 2,000 to in March, we're expected to see probably over 2,700, right? So an increase largely in sales already since the beginning of the year. If you break that down into percentage, right, we've added another 40% of sales by the end of this month that we started at this year, which is a lot, right? That's a big increase, but that is pretty atypical of, the holiday season and then springtime coming, right? It's spring. Let's go. Let's go. We're ready. True. And then we were talking about this point too, but I'm going to save this here for after our first break because it's getting into the lending side. I get to ask you some lending questions. Awesome. Because I got you. So with that, folks, we're going to take a 2-minute break. And when we come back, I got some great info for you. Don't go anywhere. Maybe I'll give you some gift cards or something today too. With that, see you guys in 1 minute. Do I sound clear?
Huh?
Do I sound clear? Or am I mumbling a little bit?
No, you sounded good.
Okay.
Yeah. You're waking up.
I'm trying, yeah. I'm trying. I'm forcing myself.
Oh. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. And do I have to go up to it or no? Shouldn't have to.
Jacob?
Huh?
Does she have to
Do I have to get
Oh, is she not talking to it? Oh, my bad. I didn't tell you. You got to get this. It has to be right here.
Oh, you have to be right there.
Yeah. I can hear you. So, would you not hearing her well?
No, I was just moving the mic so I could see her face.
Oh, her face. Got it. I thought you didn't hear her. So. Yeah, it doesn't matter where it's at. Just adjust it to where.
All right, I'll put it down where.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I set it here, and then I lower my chair. It's easier because they don't stay wherever you put them, so I just put it down here and then over the chair. Tell the height.
I think I'm as low as
If
I
it
can
does.
I think
If
this
it
one
am
is
as
a little lower.
So you switch them if you want.
Switch you up. Sorry.
Oh, I like this better than without the arms.
Really?
Yeah, you don't need
I like
the
the
arms.
arm rests.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but these are
Oh, like
scratchy.
yeah. There we go. That looks good. And then maybe the coffee cup a little up.
I'll move that. Yeah. Dang, my nose.
Do you have the allergy medicine?
Pardon me?
Do you have the allergy medicine? What is
I
that
did it
stuff
this
called?
morning.
Uh,
Yeah, I did
So
it this
good.
morning. I forgot my inhaler, but I did the nose spray stuff and an allergy pill.
spring is strong.
Thank you. Inventory's still going up a little bit.
What?
We're still getting some availability of inventory.
Cool. I've never met Robert Loftus. I gotta meet him.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Cool. Alrighty, folks, we're back and we're gonna jump right into it. Right, so where I left off, we were talking a little bit about our president-elect LVAR, George Kiprios, and his conversation with Bob Hamrick the other day. I think it was about a week ago now, where they just went over the market stats. Right, it seems to be a new segment they're doing, or George has put together, where he talks about the market stats with the brokers of the community. Fantastic. I love it. I think it's incredible to provide that insight and the information for the agents out there. And that's engaging. It's actually very entertaining to watch and get to see two people have a conversation, right? Instead of just the typical stat reading that was done before. But yeah, fantastic. Great job on that, George. Wanted to applaud you for that. But anyways, let's jump into the conversation that I wanted to talk about. So I think it was Bob actually that mentioned that unfortunately for buyers out there and how it has been for like the last year with the rates the way they are, a lot of times these buyers are getting mortgage payment shock when they get an accepted offer, right? And they shouldn't be getting the shock of a payment when they get an accepted offer.
No,
They should know the payment. They should know the payment before you write an offer.
That's right.
If you speak with a lender first, which you always should, right? Especially, obviously, if you're getting a loan, you have to. Mm-hmm. Can you provide all of your details? Can you make sure that you're actually going through all of the, income information and the details with the lender? And then lenders out there, can you make sure you're getting your clients in before they're writing offers and breaking down costs, points, fees, etc., all that stuff? Why are they finding out after they have an accepted offer and then being shocked when their payment's $500 higher than they expected it to be?
Yeah.
No wonder the cancellations are 20+%,
Yeah.
right? That's ridiculous.
Well, you know what I've seen? Some people are out there heading out shopping for homes with a pre-qualification letter
Right,
and
instead of a
not a
pre-approval.
pre-approval letter.
Right.
Huge difference.
Absolutely.
Want me to tell you?
Please explain.
Yeah. So the difference pre-qualification is basically you go online, your credit's read, you put in what your income, your assets are, and it's not checked. So high level, you're pre-qualified based off of the information you
verify,
state, but it's not verified. So once it's verified, a pre-approval letter is when you go through the motions. The lender asks you for the most recent 2 years tax returns if they're required, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, and you're actually reviewed. That time frame usually takes about 24 to 48 hours, depending on your level of complexity. If you're a self-employed business owner with multiple businesses, it could take up to 48 hours. But that's really what you want. You want to go out there shopping with certainty. Nobody wants to make an offer and have it fall apart.
So here's what she just said, in layman terms, as simple as possible. A pre-approval is good.
Pre-approval is good.
A pre-qualification is worthless.
It's worthless.
It's worthless, people. That just means you wrote down some stuff on a paper that says, I make money here, look. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it don't mean much to listing agents out there, and it really doesn't, show any strength on an offer, right?
Correct.
So, lenders out there, any of you guys that happen to listen to me, I have a challenge for you guys. And Sheila, you do very well at this, right? And that's why I find it so interesting. But can you guys start going after people instead of agents and start talking with the people ahead of time and getting the details of the payment and all the the boring stuff worked out so that we can have some fun and show them houses and write offers?
Yeah, my stuff is the boring part. I always tell them I'm preparing you for the fun part.
Right, but I feel, in our industry, right, it's always been that mostly consumers head to realtors first, right? Maybe it's because of the part of the job that it entails. It's, it's really the meat of everything, right? People care about the house, right? That's the important part when it starts, right? And then they worry about what's going to cost me. What am I going to spend, right? But at first it's like, I want a house. It's pretty. It's beautiful. Let's go look online. And the first thing they get is a call from a realtor a day later because they were clicking around online, right? Or an hour later. And so it starts there always, right? And their goal and our goal, right? It's get an appointment, get him in the office, get him at the house, right? Like, we want to move. But, they're nowhere yet, right? We're like, oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I would love to see it to where, somehow it transitions slowly almost to where lenders are actually being in front of people a little more. Because I'd love to see it to where, someone walked up to a lender and it's like, hey, I want to buy a house, but I know I need to talk to you first.
Right.
Every consumer's like, I'm talking to a realtor. And then when something goes wrong on the mortgage, whose fault is it too?
Yeah.
Most likely the realtors at the end of the day. But it's just funny. So, anybody out there, consumer looking to buy or sell, please, even if your lender's not telling you or your realtor's not telling you, ask what your payment's going to be. Go through your PITI, right? Your principal, insurance, taxes,
And interest.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Jacob Taylor, that is what we do.
Right. But
we review everything. With
I'm
client.
trying to get these people out there to see that before they go into escrow. It'll make everyone's life easier, right? Mm-hmm. And it's as simple as having that conversation with your lender. It is boring sometimes, a lot of the times. Even me, myself, when I did it with Sheila to buy my house, I didn't even ask for the details. I was like, it is what it is. What's the number? That's all I was concerned with, right? Because there's a little bit of trust there, obviously. So I'm like, what's the number? I don't care about all this. What's the number? I need to know what I'm paying. Right, at the end of the day, I don't care if I'm buying it for $400, for $500, for $600, for $700. What am I paying every month?
Right.
That's what's important at the end of the day. And I know I mentioned this quite a bit too, and I want you to touch on this if you're aware, right? But I think Bob was mentioning about, or George mentioned that someone was saying about half a point in interest rate is effectively about $40,000 in borrowing power. So those rates go from 7 to 6.5. Your buying power goes from 4, if that's what the peak was, to 440 potentially, right? So that was their estimate about how much it opens up.
Yeah.
However that sounds. So, right. So we were talking about the last year, right? Rates, it's pretty well known. Rates aren't, they're not changing much, right? It's not going to be like it was 2 or 3 years ago, right? It's not going to be there. And I think
that was artificially lowered by the feds.
What he was saying is I think that's kind of beginning to be accepted, right? At the same time, there also is a little bit of relief on rates slowly, right? And sometimes that relief goes away the week after, but it comes for a little bit, right? And you could lock some people at better than what we're seeing the previous weeks. Like, for example, in the last month, have you gotten anything under 6.75?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me fill you in.
Please, yeah. Update me. I'd love to.
Yeah. So the feds voted last week, or Yeah, earlier this week. Today is Saturday. It's like earlier this week.
Okay.
They're not lowering the Fed fund rate right now, so they stalled on that. So what you guys need to know, follow the bond market. When the bond market's doing good, mortgage-backed securities is the bond market, 10-year Treasury bonds, et cetera. That directly ties into home interest rates. The Fed fund rate ties into short-term lending, HELOCs, credit cards, auto loans, that kind of thing. So when you hear the bond market's doing good, that typically means that the long-term interest rates or housing interest rates are going to start to improve. So the forecast for the end of the year, through the end of the year, and we get our information from Barry Habib with MBS Highway. He just won his 4th crystal ball. And what that means, guys, is he is one of the most accurate forecasters in real estate and lending for over 20, 25, 30 years. This guy knows his stuff.
This is my guy.
Yeah, and he doesn't just guess. He follows trends and indicators. So interest rates towards the end of the year are supposed to be low 6s. And a matter of fact, right now, FHA's already in the low 6s.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you
FHA.
seeing like some 6.25s already?
Yeah,
Wow.
FHA.
See, that's-
Conventional
that's
usually
that's
trends a little
amazing.
higher. It
Right.
just is what it is.
Your gubbies are usually pretty.
Govies
on
are
the
a
lower
little
side.
lower because you're supplementing it with the,
Right.
upfront funding fee, mortgage insurance premium for FHA, or the funding fee for VA.
Right.
So, but it's all good. So we're seeing improvement already.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so even to further, go off that, right? That's gonna bring more buyers. That's all it's gonna do. Is just bring more buyers.
Yeah.
And then another thing we talk about too, and I think it's important to highlight, our average sales, right? What we're generally used to is not what we've had the last year or two. We've cut our sales by a lot the last few years compared to typically we're used to seeing, 3,000 to 4,000 plus sales every month. That was normal, right? So there's this pent up demand of people that didn't buy the last few years,
Right.
that are going to be jumping in eventually, whether it's now, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. They've been waiting the last 2 years, right? Eventually, it's acceptance, right? That 6.75 is now 6.25.
Yeah.
How much lower is it really going to get? As they also watch the price of homes increase as the rates are barely moving,
Yeah.
right? What happens when they go a little bit lower, right? It's just going to, squeeze the market more, right?
I'd like to mention this real quick. COVID was an anomaly.
Absolutely,
The feds were literally pouring in billions of dollars buying up mortgage-backed securities. That's what artificially kept rates low. So if everything would have been left alone, and they wouldn't have, we would have already been at these rates where we're at now. Maybe even a little lower sooner. But it is what it is. So long story short, if you come to my home buyers classes, you learn about all this. We have them once a month at the real estate guy's office. And they're really good because you learn what goes into the interest rate. You learn what it takes to prepare to purchase. Really
they're free
good
to you.
information. They're free.
It's just
and
info.
you get refreshments. We always have a raffle. We have a good time. It's interactive. No stress. Bring the kids. It's fun. There's something for everyone there.
Absolutely.
Investors all the way to first-time
I can
home buyers.
guarantee you, at worst case, you take out some new knowledge and buying a
Right.
home that you'll feel better about the next time you make a decision. Right? And that's all it is at the end of the day, is really being educated, right? And having the best, idea of what's going on in your transaction to be able to make the best educated guess or
Right.
decision, right? Because that's what it is half the time. Right? You're like, we're going to go with this option. Hopefully it works out.
Correct.
Cross your fingers.
You got it.
With that, we're going to take another quick break. And when we get back, maybe we'll talk a little bit about some politics. There's some fun stuff going on there. Talk a little bit about some stats. I forgot I also have some houses of the week for you guys. So, yeah, don't head anywhere. We'll be right back. If you need to give us a call, you have a question for me, you have a question for Sheila, you want the real estate guys to help you buy a house or sell your house, 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Live. I said The Real Estate Live. That's just called the brain not working.
That's okay.
Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Live.
Nobody's even going to catch that.
Nobody will. I heard myself. Donald Trump has officially revoked Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris of their security clearances as of this morning.
That should have been done a long time ago. It's like, oh my gosh.
Wait, why is... I don't even know why Hillary still has
I
classified
know.
intel or access to it.
Once you're out of office, it should be gone.
Right. Yeah. Maybe not with presidents. I'll understand with presidents, but like random ass like or what was Hillary Clinton? She was part of the House or was she part of the Senate?
Senate, I
I
think.
think she was Senate. Whatever it is, she was a senator then, right? So
I don't
you're
even remember.
done.
That's bad.
I
don't
know.
even
It
remember.
doesn't matter. Whatever it wasn't good.
The president's wife, Clinton's wife.
Right. Okay, I guess she was first lady. I guess that's probably a higher position than senator.
She gets all the intel. Another thing we talk about at the home buying seminar, just kind of giving examples when people are afraid. I have some clients that I gave examples. One guy, he wanted this condo because it fit his Raptor truck. But he was pissed off because of the price of the home and he was pissed off about interest rates. So he waited 3 years. The house, or a couple of years, whatever it was, the house went up $80,000. Interest rates were still the same and he still bought the house. And it was like, he just shot himself in the foot.
Right,
Why did
pissed
you
off.
do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pissed.
You can't get upset.
I don't think there is a single person out there in the last 10 years that said, I'm waiting to buy, and then bought, and were happy they waited.
And exactly. There isn't.
I mean, you would have had to say that at the peak of 2022 and buy, like, the beginning of this year. And maybe then you were like, I saved 10 grand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, you would have done so minimal, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been much of a big deal. Because from the peak, right, we went from 482.5 down to about 420.
Mm-hmm.
We went down about, what is that, 12%? But not everything.
What's our medium now?
485.
485.
Yeah, it's the highest it's ever been.
And your dad's saying 555 by the end of the year or something like that.
No. I'll talk to you
Okay.
on air. Share that.
Love the disclaimers. I don't remember hearing that before. That's funny.
Alrighty, we were talking about some more good stuff, and I was like, let's just bring it on air. So wait a minute. So, my dad has mentioned this a few times in the past, and he kind of came up with this idea, right? This idea or this like goal for his like crystal ball of the real estate market, right? And he says 555, right? What does that mean? There's going to be three things. When three things happen, or when one of these three things happen, the other two are going to follow pretty shortly after. Once interest rates get anywhere in the fives, median price will be well above 500. I believe he said 550. I don't know. We'll see. That's high, but that is possible. And then 5,000 single family homes on the market, which is the other thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Under 5,000 single family homes. With one of those three things happens, the other two will follow very shortly.
The forecast nationwide is for every 1% interest rates go down, 5 million more people come on the market nationwide.
Nationwide?
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
And what does that turn into? Bidding up houses? Or?
Right. It turns into people paying above appraisal eventually. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how... Right. If you guys didn't know, right, when property values increase, there's only one way for it to happen, really. Well, two ways, right? You have people buying cash, and they're paying more than the, value of the home is currently, but usually it's not very identifiable because there's not an appraisal done. It's just the opinions of whoever's involved, right? But if you're buying with a loan, right, the only way to raise the value of a home is to pay above market value. And what does that mean? You're paying above appraisal, right? So let's say you're purchasing a home at 300, it gets appraised at 300. But there's a bidding war, and you have to go up to 310 to make it work. Let's say, right? If you go up to 310, the banks are only going to loan you up to that 300. So then you're coming up with an extra 10,000 out of pocket cash to make the deal work, and now you've pushed every single home in that community up 2 points. So 2% right there, right? 2-3%, right? Nice. You just added a new comp for the community. All your neighbors like you. The listing agent down the street that's about to list that house loves you. Everybody's happy, right? So that's kind of how it works when, properties are appreciating, right? What that means is people are paying above appraisal and cash buyers are paying, more than their normal share, right? Maybe it might not even be above market value per se, but when we see cash buyers start buying at 95% of, market value, you're like, wait, there's no margin there. What do they know?
Yeah.
Right? Or you obviously see that they estimate by the time they're done with the flip, it's going to be a little bit better market, right?
Yeah.
So we're starting to see stuff like that. And it's just, it's awesome to watch everything play out, right? And being in this business for me personally, now coming up on almost 8 years, it's awesome to watch how the stats and the trends play out in real time. And then it's cool to be able to look back and say, well, this is what I thought was going to happen, and this would happen. And, fine-tune your skills, right? Fine-tune your eye for watching these trends.
Well, we've had a pretty good appreciation run. So 2023, the year ended 10.3%.
Yeah, that was a great year.
2024, 8-ish, 7. What was 24?
Still a solid year.
Yeah, solid.
I think it was 420 to about 470.
But I heard the numbers like 7 to 8% appreciation in 24, something like that.
I can see that.
And then I've heard the trends are through 2028 a solid. This is for Las Vegas. We're talking about Las Vegas about 7% a year
on average.
On average through 2024. Now you got to remember there's a zip code thing that Fidelity also provides that talks about zip code appreciation.
Right.
That's pretty slick.
Right. Yeah. If you wanted to know what was going on in your zip codes, yeah. So that's what title and escrow. Fantastic, especially Fidelity, right?
Yeah, you should contact us to get a copy of that.
We can get you your whole property profile. We can pull up your whole lien report on your property. Any history you have on your property, we could basically get for you from title. No cost to you, of course. If you're a client of the Real Estate Guy or not, you're looking to be one, give us a call and let me know you want some information from title, and I'll make a call and get it for you probably by the next day or later that hour. Some of the documents take a day to order, but. We can get you a lot of good information on your property, in the neighborhood, the area, what's going on. Yeah. Even some numbers, stuff like that. Whatever you're looking for, you're interested in. They put together some great information for us agents out there. Time we got here. Good, we got enough. I'm going to jump into these houses of the week real quick here, Sheila.
Sounds good.
Want to do one with me?
Sure, let's do it.
I'm going to start off with one here. This one's my client's. And we just went live the other day. Christian, if you happen to be listening, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And we're going to get your house sold, brother. I got you. All right. So this one here is in beautiful Mesquite. Lovely, lovely, lovely Mesquite. It is a custom home. I will briefly tell you about it. Property, finished building within the last year. Lived in less than a year by one person. That's it. Completely built, custom. I won't go into the details on why it's being sold, but it's an unfortunate situation, right? It needs to be sold.
Okay.
We have it listed at $600, and it is a beautiful property for $600 in Mesquite. On the beautiful side of the freeway, right? Because you have to be that where you are matters, right? When you're building new there. And then he bought in the HOA community, the golf course community, Falcon Crest. So. Beautiful community, right? Golf course right nearby. He happens to be kind of on I don't know how to describe it as well, but beautiful location in the community near one of the side gates. Fantastic. Superior construction, extra insulation, right? So 2x6 exterior walls, full sheathing, spray foam insulation for energy efficiency, tankless water heater, water softener, Tesla charger or electric charger, charging port if you need one.
This house is dialed in.
He went above and beyond. Oh my gosh, and he was a fan of skylights, right? So you know how when you imagine you're walking through like a Sun City Summerlin house, there's always like that one skylight outside, or it's in the bathroom, right? He probably put like 5 or 6 skylights. There's so much natural lighting in that home. It's beautiful, right? But either way, it's a fantastic home built again 2024. $600,000. This property is 1,901 square feet. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a 3-car garage. And again, single story. So you're not gonna find much nicer out there in Mesquite right now. And I'd go out on a limb and challenge anybody to show me a nicer property in Mesquite, around similar specs, right? It's a beautiful little place, and I think someone's gonna be very appreciative of the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears this man put into the home because he built everything. Very smart guy. So yeah, that is 479 Apogee Crest in Mesquite. Give me a call if you're interested. I'll take you out to Mesquite, or I got some folks out there ready to help you out. What do we got next, Sheila? What's another one?
The next one is we have 127 Crimson Cactus Avenue, 89011 zip code.
Okay.
So this one is in Rainbow Canyon, Phase 2 in Henderson. The list price is $649,999. And this is a 2,048 square footer, 2-car garage. The lot is 8,712 square feet. It's 2-bedroom, and it has a den. Oh, so is this Sun City?
No, this is in Lake Las Vegas.
Oh, Lake Las Vegas.
I was just trying to look for that. That is beautiful.
So stunning 2-bedroom plus a den. Features solar panels by Solar Edge with panel production. Let's see. What else does it have? 2-bedroom and a den, 2-bath.
Nice.
Nice house.
2-car garage, a little bit.
This is newer.
Yeah, built in 2024 as well.
Okay.
A little bit bigger than a 2-car garage, like a 2.5 almost. And nice sized lot as well, 8,700 square foot lot. Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty, one more we got for you folks. And again, we do sell a lot of we do sell a lot of homes on our radio show. So if any of these homes pique your interest, or you know someone that might, please give the real estate guys a call. 702-310-6683. That's 702-310-MOVE. All right, last one here. 410. Oh wait, no, this is not the one you did. 410 Giocoso Court. This one here is in Henderson in 89011, built in 2016, roughly 2,500 square feet on a almost 10,000 square foot lot. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, listed at $719,900.
And it has a pool and a spa.
And it does have a pool and spa, single story, in cul-de-sac on a huge lot. Beautiful single story, 3-bed, 3-bath. 3-car garage. Oh, 3-car garage.
Nice.
Beautiful community of Cadence. There we go. So this
cul-de-sac.
is in Cadence.
Did you already say cul-de-sac?
Yes,
That's
cul-de-sac. Cool. It is a beautiful little family home, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you're interested, give us a call. We'll set up some showings, help you write an offer, whatever you need. All right. What time is it? All right, we got a minute. Nice. So, Sheila, how's your day been? Hopefully your day has been much better than the start of my day.
It's been good.
That's awesome.
It's been good.
So I'm going to tell you guys before we take a minute break because it's been an interesting one. So first, I am a night owl to an extent. I'm still 26 years old, almost 27. So I'm still kind of a night owl from my college days. I'm working on it. But anyways, I stay up late and I get up early still sometimes, right? It's like I do both and then I have a tough time. But anyways, last night it's like 1:30. I'm finishing my movie. I watched The King with Timothée Chalamet again. It was a fantastic movie. Highly recommended. But anyways, finishing my movie. I'm about to go to bed, right? My daughter starts crying. I'm like, oh. I try to wait like 10 minutes. Like, go back to sleep, please. Now she was hungry. So feeding her. It's 3 a.m. Put her back to bed. Another 2 hours. She gets up. Mama takes her this time. Fantastic, thankfully. But, she's in the bed with us, so she's moving around, playing, pulling my ear and stuff. So I'm already tired, right? I get up. I'm rolling out of bed this morning. I'm like, please. So I ordered my Starbucks early. I'm like, yes, I'm going to get my coffee. It'll be ready to go. I'm running late already, so I got to rush. Just going to pick it up. It'll be at the counter. I get there. I run inside. And I'll say this, too. I even felt bad. I parked in the handicap spot real quick to run in and grab it and leave because I was running late. And I was like, no one's going to notice. There's like 5 of them open. I'm running in and running out. And I get this. She's like, I don't even have an order for you. I said, what? You should have seen the look on my face. I probably looked so defeated. I said, what? What do you mean? I look at my app. It says, check out. I was like, no. I'm so tired. Please. Okay, anyway, so that's not it. That's not it. You got me for 30 more seconds. And then I get to the studio, right, at 9. Right? We go live at 9:05. I'm running late. The office where all of our beautiful equipment and headsets and pictures and, all that stuff. It's locked. Can't get in. And I knew it, too, before I even got here. Like, I could just feel the day, when you stub your toe in the morning and the spiral begins. Uh-huh. Right? Like, I know it was happening. And I know it, and I'm trying to shake it off, right? Like, I'm already mentally like, it's going to be a great day. I've got some great stuff today. Got a good work. Got some good clients to meet. Got some good houses to show. But it won't let me out of the spiral.
Well, it can only get better from here,
right? It
right?
can only get better. That's the mindset, right? Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys because it was just, bothering me. All right, so I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I just didn't have anything else to talk about for the last 30 seconds of that break, so I was like, let's tell this story. That sounds fun.
Why not? Why not?
Couldn't get into a whole topic.
Are we going through these, or this is just in case?
I always have this stuff, and like if I feel like I'm running out of stuff to talk about, I bring it. But like, if there's anything in here you want to talk about, let's talk about it. Yeah, ChatGPT just always prepares it, and like when I feel I need info, or if I don't have enough, I'll refer back to it always. But yeah, I like the what $2,500 a month gets you in today's market. I would love to know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What can you afford with $2,500 a month? Right?
Depends on the HOA.
Well, that's important to talk about, right?
It's like 300,000-ish.
Right.
Could be a little lower, could be a little more, depending on. Yeah, depends on the HOA. And it depends if you go VA, because if you go VA, there's no MI. So
there's no MI. Oh,
no mortgage insurance. Yeah, it's cool. Are you sleeping down there?
Nope, I'm awake. My legs just get tired after standing for so long.
Oh, I know. I'm the opposite. I sit too much, so I need to stand up.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm always on the computer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
I feel like I'm always on the move, so when I have the time to sit, I do.
Are you a homeowner?
Am I a homeowner?
Are you a homeowner yet?
No, not yet. But I will be soon.
Yeah, you need to let us know. What I do is I help people prepare. So
really?
So what we do is we look at where you're at. We look at your income right now, your sources. I'll let you know. Okay, maybe you need another year. Maybe you need this or whatever. Oh, you already shared.
No,
okay.
her boyfriend. Your boyfriend or your husband?
Boyfriend.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I talked to Jude about it and let him know because we're talking about buying a house. I'm like, I don't do taxes. Like, you ain't buying a house then yet. Start filing the taxes, buddy. I started him on the path, at least to start doing the stuff you need to do.
Yeah, he's trying. He has someone doing his taxes, actually. He just hasn't paid the guy to send him the tax info, but he's got someone.
Yeah, and after you're done with your guy going through your stuff, then you have to go through even more write-offs too. So make sure he does some research on what he can actually write off, and of course you can always, exaggerate to an extent, like carefully, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to the military soon. Well, he's gonna be still in Vegas, so I don't know what they do about like if they help you buy the houses or whatever.
He'll have plenty of money too. We'll talk about that more. Alrighty, you guys are stuck with me for 10 more minutes. 8 more minutes. Woohoo! They're like, no, I'm not. Turning you off. But anyways, before break, Sheila and I had some good conversation here. Just a general statement, right? This isn't exact, but just estimates for you. What can you get? If I can afford $2,500 a month on paper, what can I buy, Sheila?
That is a really good question, JT.
And again, right, because this is important, it's the interest rate and the purchase price that affects what you can afford, right?
Right.
So with the current interest rate, $2,500 a month, what is your best guesstimate that I could afford?
You could. Now, I'm going to give you a number. So it's about 300,000 ish. Could be a little less, could be a little more, and it's going to depend on your taxes, your homeowner association fee, and your mortgage insurance. If you're a veteran, you might be able to qualify for a little more because VA loans do not have mortgage insurance. Right. So that's a big deal. So those factors. So with that said, about $300,000 purchase price, again, plus or minus, because when you're looking at $300,000, you're more than likely going to purchase a townhome or a condo, right. And they have HOAs.
Higher HOAs typically.
Yeah, so that all goes into it. Which is
another discussion to be had in itself, right? Like the debate between buying, the most affordable single-family home or a, good condo/townhome is like,
right.
What is the point of even buying a townhome anymore? Because you're still spending, and I think Bob mentioned this was great point here. These condos, townhomes now are like 75% of the value of a single family. Just buckle it up and buy the single family at this point, because the HOA on the townhome community is going to be $350 or $300, right? Because these townhome communities are outrageous, right, for their HOAs.
And then plus your appreciation is more in a townhouse because you own the land.
Oh, you actually own some land, right?
Yeah.
You're not owning just airspace with the condo.
Yeah, condo's like buying an apartment.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you're basically buying
air
the inside of the walls, right?
Exactly. So, but that's a good start too. So
it's just the point of that, because of how much appreciation or maybe how much the costs have increased to buy condo townhomes now, it almost makes more sense to buy single family, right? Even though you might be paying $100,000 more on purchase price, that might come down to like $100 on payment at the end of the day after HOA differences and whatever other differences there are, right? It might not be that small, but kind of, I hope you get the point I'm trying to make. It's just way too close than it used to be.
Yeah.
To make sense, right?
No, it is.
And to give you guys, like, I don't mind sharing this as well, just to give you guys some accurate estimates on myself, right? Like, for example, a $380,000 loan in June for, no, you don't have to look this up. This is my loan I'm talking about. I'm thinking about it here. 7.625, I believe was my interest rate. 7.625. Mm-hmm. If you need to hear that again, 7.625. So you could get a 1 point lower rate today.
Yeah.
Than I have currently. And I'm a real estate broker. Yeah. And I have no problem with it.
Yeah, Jacob, why aren't we refinancing
it? Actually, wait, I do have a problem with it. I hate it. But I mean, I had no problem making the decision to pull the trigger and move forward. Right?
Because?
Other than getting past my fear.
You needed to get into a house.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a baby. Yeah. I needed it. It wasn't a question of if or, should I. It was like, when am I getting in?
Mm-hmm. And if you would have waited, your house would be...
Oh, yeah, 100%. It would definitely be another $20,000, $30,000 already, right? It got appraised at $412,000. I already, based on the little appreciation I probably gave it from the, forced depreciation of the remodel, and then the actual appreciation of the neighborhood, even my little, I forget who my servicer is already. I don't know. I have it all auto, but even whoever my servicer is already has my automated value at $460,000.
Mm-hmm. That's big. That's huge.
I'm like, that's 6 months. Obviously, I haven't even looked at the exact details, but my whole point of this was the payment for that. If you could guess now, and I'll tell you here in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
36.45.
Yeah,
right?
with about taxes, insurance, and everything.
About $3,650 a month for a $380,000 loan, right? Mm-hmm. And that is 100% affected by that interest rate, right? That same loan, with a 5.625, that payment's probably under $3,000. It's probably $2,500 maybe.
Yeah.
Right? You're really affecting your payment monthly when that rate changes, and that's why it has such an effect on the market, right? But what people also need to understand, you consumers out there, right, is by the time the rates are dropping, like, you're almost too late to maximize your value, right? You're never too late in real estate, ever. Right? You just buy and hold. Right? You're never too late. Just keep buying and holding, and you're fine. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if you're 67 years old, maybe you're not going to want to buy a home and wait 20, 30 years to make some money, right? But I don't even know where I was going. I just lost my train of thought.
payments, interest rates, comparison of the
Right. I
savings.
was stressing on how important it is, right? How much these interest
Yeah.
rates really affect
They
these
do.
purchase prices, right? And that people get so caught up on the purchase price number when it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Your payment is what matters
Mm-hmm.
for you and for your situation, right? Down the road, the price might matter. But
So
really,
you really
buckle
wanna-
down that payment.
Right.
And how you do that goes back to what I started talking about when we first started the show. Is you consumers out there need to get with lenders. So lenders, I challenge you to get in front of consumers first, please. It's easy for consumers to go to a realtor and start getting excited, and for us to get them excited and to get everything hyped up and like, let's go look at homes. And then we're in this situation where we have a pool of consumers that isn't as educated as they should be before they're making these financial decisions.
Right.
At the bottom line, that's it.
Yeah.
These consumers need to be more educated on their decisions they're making before they make them.
Yeah.
Bottom line, if you want that education before you make these life-changing decisions and these financial decisions, give the real estate guys and the lending lady a call. And we're going to make sure we provide you with ample education and as much information as possible and allow you to feel content with making a decision and, good about it, right? Whether there's a little doubt or not, you'll know you've made a good decision based on the information we provided and helped guide you.
Yeah. Part of the service, what we do also is we put a strike rate. So when we sit down with you, we agree on, so Jacob's example, the 7 point something, well, typically it's a point, depending on your principal balance, it's a point or more you want to refinance.
Right.
Don't get greedy and say, I want to wait till the rates get to 5. Don't do that because they may never happen and you might lose out at that
Right,
6.25 or whatever. So it's important to take it while you can in increments.
Right. No, maybe I do need to revisit it very soon. But I believe I needed 8 payments first too, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm
got it.
not
You're-
there.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. I think, or am I?
I think you're there.
Oh, I
I
am
think
there,
you've been
huh?
in your house.
Well, does the first payment that goes through escrow counts, right?
Yes.
Okay,
first
so that would
payment.
be June.
So
July.
you skip a payment when you close, and then the
Right.
first payment. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so I
you
think
get the
I'm
point.
at my 8th month, basically.
Okay.
All right.
So we need
so
to
I
talk.
can refi.
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
That'll definitely be done here in the next few months. But I was really hoping to see low 6s, but I'm conventional, so I might still be mid 6s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you
I
might
still need a little
be.
bit longer.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, the point I shared that all with you guys is that, I don't just talk it, I walk it. I'm doing it myself. I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe in it. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes, we do.
This is our family. This is our livelihood. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Take care, Las Vegas. Have a great day. We'll see you next week. And thanks for joining us, Sheila.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.